Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going deep into the story of Jacob, from Genesis chapter 28, specifically his trip to Padanaram. It's got a pivotal dream, a life-changing vow, the usual.
It's interesting because this story kind of sets the stage for everything that comes after, and not just for Jacob, but for, his whole lineage. It's not just a personal journey. This is nation building stuff, echoes through history.
Okay, so family dynamics first. Jacob's dad, Isaac, sends him off to find a wife.
Right.
Specifically from his mom's family back in Padanaram.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that, right? Isaac says, no way, no how are you marrying a Canaanite woman.
Yeah, and that detail, it's not just a dad being picky. It shows a cultural and religious thing about keeping their identity,
Right.
Israelites saw themselves as set apart, and marrying Canaanites, different beliefs, different practices, that was a threat, big time.
So Isaac's drawing a line in the sand, basically. Keep the heritage pure. Marry within the tribe. Makes you wonder about Esau, though, Jacob's twin brother. Marrying those Canaanite women. What a rebel.
Totally. And even though he tries to make up for it later, marries a daughter of Ishmael, damage was done.
Yeah.
The tension between those brothers, man, it's a thread that just keeps going. We'll see.
Okay, so Jacob's off on this journey, Padanaram, and he stops for the night, gets comfy, uses a stone for a pillow.
Roughing it.
Seriously. And that's when he has this crazy dream, this ladder going up to heaven, angels going up and down.
Yeah, and it's not just any dream. This is a theophany, right? The divine just breaking through in that setting, Desolate, isolated, just Jacob makes the whole thing hit harder.
Definitely. And it's not just visuals either. God talked to Jacob, reaffirms the covenant from Abraham, the land, tons of descendants, the whole 9 yards.
Think about it. Jacob's far from home, uncertain future. This is huge for him. Yeah. God's still there, across generations. Faithful.
And then Jacob wakes up, names the place Bethel, house of God.
I love that part.
That stone pillow, now it's a sacred pillar.
That whole ordinary place, suddenly, bam, divine meaning. He was changed, man. Naming it, consecrating it, the whole deal.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Jacob makes this vow.
Right.
A promise, but with conditions. Protection on the journey, provisions, safe return. Then, bam, the Lord's his God. The stone, a place of worship. And he'll tithe 10%, everything he gets.
That vow, it's super interesting to me. It's he's negotiating with God, faith, but also pragmatism, recognizing God's power, but wanting something back. It makes you think, right? About faith back then. Was it just surrender? Or was there this give and take?
He's a complex dude, Jacob, not just blind faith. He wants a good deal.
Right. And that's why he's so fascinating. Not a perfect hero, not a saint, doubt, ambition, all mixed in.
So there we have it. Jacob's got a divine promise, a renewed purpose, but also that cleverness, that calculating side. He's going to Haran, the land of his ancestors. And that's where things get really interesting, man. Laban, the uncle. Leah and Rachel, the daughters. Let me tell you, it's drama, deception, and destiny-shaping stuff. Buckle up.
So Jacob gets to Haran, land of his forefathers, and it's deja vu almost. He meets Rachel.
Yeah.
At a well.
Which
was Isaac met Rebecca, right? At a well.
I know. It's these echoes, right? Family, destiny, repeating through the generations.
And bam, Jacob and Rachel, love at first sight.
Classic.
But it's not a simple love story. It gets tangled up, family obligations, cultural stuff, bargaining, the whole deal.
Oh, yeah. Laban, the uncle, he's a key player in this whole thing. He says, okay, you can marry Rachel, but...
There's always a but.
7 years of labor.
7 years. I mean, talk about dedication, right? But was that normal back then? Was that a common thing?
Well, we got to remember, different times, different culture. Ancient Near East, marriage wasn't just, hearts and flowers. It was alliances, economics, keeping that family line going.
Right. So Laban, by asking for 7 years, he's getting Jacob's loyalty.
That's smart.
And making sure Rachel's set up, secured future.
It's a business deal, basically.
Pretty much. But there's a twist. A big one.
Oh, here we go.
Wedding night. Laban pulls a switcheroo. Jacob ends up married to Leah, the older daughter.
Yo, hold on. That's messed up, right?
Total bait and switch. And says a lot about Laban, don't you think?
Yeah, that's sneaky, manipulative even.
Definitely adds to the whole drama and makes you wonder about the ethics of all this, right?
So what did Jacob do? Just rolls with it.
Not quite. He's like, hey, what gives? Confronts Laban.
Right.
And Laban's like, okay, another deal. 7 more years, then you can have Rachel too.
He doubled down.
And Jacob says yes.
14 years. This guy's persistent.
For real. But he gets there, marries Rachel, has kids with both of them, actually, which people kind of forget sometimes.
Yeah, it's always focused on Rachel, right?
Yeah.
But Leah's in the picture, too.
Exactly. And their kids from both wives. They become the 12 tribes of Israel.
Wow. So this whole family saga, it's literally the foundation of a nation.
It is. Shows how personal stories, even messy ones, can have huge consequences.
Totally. And the relationships. Love, duty, betrayal, ambition, all wrapped up together.
Exactly. Not a fairy tale, you know. This is family, culture, making tough choices when things get rough. Real life stuff.
But hold on. We can't forget the divine element here. Remember that encounter at Bethel? How does that play into all this Haran drama?
Good point. On one hand, you've got that covenant, God's promises, all that.
Yeah.
But then Jacob's getting deceived. Things are tough. Makes you think about how God works, you know, directly involved, or setting things in motion, letting humans figure it out.
And Jacob, I mean, is he still that same cunning guy?
That's the question, isn't it? Does he change?
He went through a lot.
Oh, yeah. And that's what's so fascinating about his story. He's not just static. He evolves, wrestles with his flaws, his ambitions, and comes out changed on the other side. It's like, Haran's not just bad luck for Jacob, right? That's like a test, like fire and brimstone forging him.
Yeah, exactly. And during all this, there's this pivotal moment, the wrestling match. Jacob wrestles this mysterious figure all night long, and when morning comes, he's got a new name. Israel.
Israel.
Which means he struggles with God.
Man, what imagery. It's like his internal struggle, but like physical, you know?
Totally. It's Jacob grappling with, divine forces, but also like himself.
Yeah.
His flaws, his ambitions. It's saying faith isn't just like sitting there.
Right.
It's active, it's engaging, even like confronting the divine.
So it's not like Jacob's just on autopilot, you know? A fulfilling destiny. He's in there making choices. And this was, what, thousands of years ago? That's a bold message.
It really is. It challenges this idea of just passively like accepting whatever God throws at you. Jacob's pushing back, he's wrestling. It's like, we're not just pawns, we're part of this, you know?
Shaping things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in a way, like co-creating with the divine.
Wild, right?
So big picture now, we've covered a lot. What's the takeaway from Jacob's story? What is all this deep dive into Genesis 28? What does it really show us?
Well, it's a story about faith, how powerful it is. But also, it's about family, complicated family, and how our own choices, they can like ripple out and change history. It's like even messed up people can be part of something bigger, you know? And struggling, wrestling, that can lead to like real change.
It's a story full of contradictions, which honestly, that's life, right? But it's also like a guide, how to deal with faith, ambition, leaving your mark on the world.
And what's amazing is it's not just an old story. It still matters, you know? We all face stuff. We all try to figure out who we are, what our purpose is. And Jacob's story, messy as it is, it's like a mirror.
Yeah.
Makes us think about our own journeys, our own wrestling matches, with life, with faith.
Jacob, he goes from like trickster to transformed. A new name, Israel. It's like a reminder. We can all grow. We can change. It's a call to action, really. Get involved with your faith, your relationships, your own path. Because even when things are tough, that's where the real change happens. That's how you build something that lasts. Until next time, folks, keep digging deeper.